Now, one of my mutuals posted this on Threads, and I hope he doesn't mind me bringing this conversation over to this platform, but it was a really interesting topic specifically about comic books that I do want to talk about. Is it bad as a Marvel and DC fan? I'm getting tired of the wars and crisis. On one hand, I get it, there are tons of characters in both properties, and the best way to showcase them is by having a big event. Some of these wars and crises are great storytelling. With that being said, it's becoming oversaturated. He continues to say, I just want them to tell more self-contained stories, which they are. I'm just asking for more of them. And he's asking this question publicly, and obviously I voted for a good balance between both self-contained stories and big events. Because the truth of the matter is, I totally 100% agree that the idea of a major event or even a war between major characters is oversaturated. And I hate to admit this, but quite literally the beginning of this year in January, I stopped reading specifically Marvel and DC comics because of this reason. Now, one thing I would like to add to his point is that not only is the idea of a war or a crisis event in a comic book series is oversaturated, but a lot of these events, they just recycle the same fucking characters over and over again. Which is one of the main reasons why the idea of the Future State event was really cool to me, because although the mantle of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman were all the same, these are different characters. And then in the event immediately after that, which is Absolute Power that's going on right now, they go back to the original characters like Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, and Diana Prince. Now, I know the reason why they recycle the same characters over and over again, but that's a completely different conversation for another time. And overall, having these crisis events in comic books is really disheartening, because the more and more it's saturated, the less impact that it has. Now, the reason why these events were so cool to begin with is because they rarely happened. So that when it did happen, the shock value was actually there. But in recent years up until now, it just feels like they just come up with certain, major events just to sell comic books, not for storytelling purposes. And overall, that's just really sad to think about. So yeah, like I said before, I prefer them to have a good balance between self-contained stories and major events. But as per usual, let me know what you guys think. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna put the poll up on this video so that you guys could vote for yourself. But overall, war and crisis events don't do anything for me in comic books anymore. Also, one thing I like to add, another reason why I don't like crisis events anymore is because they don't have a long-lasting effect to the universe as a whole. For example, Crisis on Infinite Earths basically changed the entire foundation of the entire universe as a whole. Another example, say what you will about the New 52, but when the New 52 happened, it completely reset everybody's origin stories and gave us new stories and new interpretations of those characters. You can even look at Civil War from Marvel as an example as well. Like when the Superhero Registration Act was a thing, some superheroes signed it and other superheroes didn't. And regardless if they signed the Registration Act or not, that was the foundation of the story in their individual comic books that came out after. So it's little details like that that actually make these events matter. But when they come out with these types of events and don't do anything with it and don't have any type of effect to the universe as a whole, it basically leads me to believe, like, what's the point? But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now because I know I talk too much, but like I said, let me know what you think.